Prediction season is officially here. These are my game-by-game predictions for the Tennessee Volunteers in the 2024 college football season. Hello, everyone. I'm Chris Phillips of SEC Unfiltered. Appreciate each and every single one of you tuning in. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn notifications. Check us out via podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. You can also find us across all social media platforms, as well as our website, secunfiltered.com. We're brought to you by our friends over at RHOBACK. Go to RHOBACK.com and use promo code SECU for 20% off your first purchase. That's RHOBACK.com, promo code SECU for 20% off today. Feelings of the college football playoff on Rocky Top are taking over. The excitement's at a palpable level for Tennessee, and these are my game-by-game predictions for the Volunteers in the 2024 college football season as we pull up the schedule and each of my selections. Tennessee eases into the 2024 season against Chattanooga on that Saturday, August 31st. I think it will be a very, very fun afternoon in Knoxville. Nico Iamaleava, you can tell by the way, Tennessee folks, I've been working on the pronunciation, and I think it's kickoff ready. Y'all let me know. But either way, Nico and the gang, the offense is going to be explosive. I think you're going to see Tennessee run the football a lot in this ball game. Defensively, they'll dominate. Tennessee gets off to a big 1-0 start and really uses this to build some momentum going into what is a really, really sneaky non-conference matchup. You know, this is one, guys, that's getting glossed over a little bit too much, right? NC State at Bank of America Stadium in the Dukes Mayo Classic, 7:30 Eastern Time kickoff in prime time. And guys, you talk to some folks in ACC country, which I'm sure not many of you have done, but NC State is a sneaky playoff contender this year. NC State's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Grayson McCall, the former Coastal Carolina Chanticleer, now the quarterback over there at State. I think this one could be much, much closer than people realize. I think Tennessee could lose this football game. Do I think they're going to lose this football game? No, I do not. But watch out. This is one that I think keep a close eye on, pay attention to. That week 2, there's not a lot of big games, right? This ball game, night game at B of A in Charlotte, North Carolina, could be one of the more fun early season non-conference matchups that we get. But I do think Tennessee, guys, the offensive firepower, I trust the front seven. I think the Volunteers get the win, move to 2-0. But again, I think by end of season, this could be one that looks a little bit better on the resume than people maybe initially thought it would. The following week, you take on Kent State, really just prepping up for SEC play. Tennessee will get a big win there. Again, the offensive firepower. I mean, I think the Volunteers, whether it's SEC play or it's not, but especially in these non-conference games, that offense is going to be a lot of fun to watch, man. I mean, I think Nico, Squirrel White, Brew McCoy, Chris Brazel, Dylan Sampson, the list just goes on and on and on and on and on. And I think the good news is this, guys. You know, you got 3 straight non-conference. NC State's a nice test, but these first 3 weeks, you're going to really be able to get Nico comfortable, figure out what you have, work out any kinks you may have. Because anytime, because I know Nico played the bowl game, but still, he's kind of a new-ish quarterback, being QB1. This is the first time ever, obviously. So you'll have these first 3 weeks to work out any kinks you may have. Because in week 4 and on, it's for real. It gets serious. As Saturday, September the 21st, week 4, you go to Norman, Oklahoma to take on the Oklahoma Sooners. Josh Heupel's homecoming. The electricity in that building is going to be crazy. Now, do I think Oklahoma, top to bottom, is a better football team than Tennessee? Not necessarily. But I think Oklahoma's a team this year, guys, where when it all clicks, I think OU can jump up and beat anybody in the conference. And yes, that includes Tennessee, right? I'm a believer in Jackson Arnold. The Deion Burks connection they're going to have there is going to be one of the best in the SEC, probably not talked about enough. And I think early in the season, here's the key. Early in the season, I think the offensive line for Oklahoma, this is going to be the healthiest they've been or are going to be probably all year. On the road, hostile environment, Nico's first true road game. Josh Heupel returning to Norman. The storylines are about Oklahoma's first ever SEC matchup. I think Oklahoma probably plays one of their best games of the season. I think you see the Sooners play inspired, and I do think Oklahoma, as I was about to say, pulls the upset. Guys, you look in Vegas, OU is favored. OU is favored. Why is that? Is Vegas crazy, or do they know something? And I think they know something, guys. I think Oklahoma pulls the upset, gets the big win. But I think Tennessee, guys, will bounce back, right? I think Tennessee bounces back. You get the bye week on September the 28th after your first 4 games before you dive into 3 straight SEC games, the first of which kicking off the month of October being at Arkansas. Listen, Fayetteville could get kind of wild, right? What's Arkansas going to be? I think Arkansas is going to be actually a little bit better than people think. I think Arkansas can get to a bowl game this year. Even with Bobby Petrino, Talon Green, who I'm a big fan of and think they could do really well, I don't think Arkansas can keep up with Tennessee. I think you're going to see that Tennessee offense coming out the bye week humming. I think the front 7, Arkansas's offensive line probably going to be improved, but I don't know that it's going to be able to withstand one of the best front 7s, in my opinion, in the conference. I think Tennessee gets a big win there. Then you take on the Florida Gators. Guys, this was the game I deemed as Tennessee's most important game of the year. If this is going to be a different season for Tennessee, you got to beat Florida, man. And I know some of you out there are like, man, it's a given. What are you talking about? They're going to beat Florida. No duh. Guys, this series has been anything but no duh. I mean, it has been absolutely crazy the way Florida has just, it's mental. They're in their heads, right? So I think Tennessee does find a way, though, in Rocky Top. After last year, the revenge factor, I think Josh Heupel and company, the Volunteers, know they cannot allow that to happen again. A slip-up cannot happen, and you make the college football playoff or even have a chance. I think Tennessee knows that. I think they get the win over Florida. So back-to-back SEC wins sets up the big game in Neyland. 3rd Saturday in October. Neyland Stadium going to be shaking. Afternoon or night game in Knoxville. And here comes Alabama. Guys, what was it, like 16 years between the last times Tennessee beat Bama, and then they finally snapped that streak in 2022? Hendon Hooker, Jalen Hyatt. Who can forget that incredible game? I'm going to just tell you this right now. It ain't going to be 16 years again before Tennessee beats Alabama. Hell, I think it's happening this season, right? You got a raucous home crowd. Things are different for Bama. I think they're still going to be really good under Kalen DeBoer. I really do. Still immensely talented. But there's going to be somewhat of a drop-off. There has to be, right? And there's a lot of moving pieces for Bama on the defensive side, right? Offensively with Jalen Milroe, what's he going to look like in that offensive scheme, that offensive system, right? So I think this is going to be an absolute classic, man. I don't know that it's exactly going to match 2022, but I do think Tennessee, when it's all said and done and the dust settles, I think this is a last possession kind of game. I think Tennessee at home finds a way. Nico Iamaleava has one of his best games of the season. The front 7, the defense is flying around. I think Tennessee finds a way to get the win here 3rd Saturday in October. A huge boost to Tennessee's 2024 season. Guys, then you go into the bye week feeling really good about yourself on October 26th. After that, you take on, the month of November begins, the November slate. You take on the Kentucky Wildcats. I think Kentucky's going to be much improved, but guys, Tennessee doesn't lose to Kentucky. Doesn't matter where it's played. Knoxville, Lexington, the parking lot, doesn't matter. Tennessee's going to beat Kentucky. End of story. Next week, same thing. Mississippi State. I don't think State's going to be very good this year, guys, at all. I don't see them winning a conference game. I think Tennessee wins that one big. And I think it's going to be a situation where Tennessee's probably spending about a week and a half preparing for their following opponent, which is the Georgia Bulldogs in Athens. Going to be a raucous environment at Sanford Stadium, of course. Listen, anything can happen. Who knows? But asking Tennessee to go on the road and win at Georgia, man. Josh Heupel's done a lot of great things with that program, guys. He's done a lot of great things with that program. He's going to continue to do great things. I don't think you're quite there yet. I don't think you're quite on the beat Georgia level of program yet. So I do think you drop that ball game. I think it's a close game. I think it's a close game. Don't let Tennessee get hot. Pray for no rain, by the way. Pray for no rain. But if it's that was probably a low blow. I'm sorry. But if it's good weather, the offense is humming, you never know. Maybe Nico has one of those games, right? We're talking about 5-10 years from now, and Tennessee upsets Georgia. Maybe, but I can't predict it. I've got Georgia winning that football game. Guys, so that puts you squarely on 2 losses. That knock you out the playoff, puts you on 2 losses. Good news is this. You close out with back-to-back home games against, a home game, then a road game. UTEP at Neyland Stadium. That'll be a blowout. That'll be a big win. And then at Vanderbilt. Guys, in the early to mid-2010s, this game might have been interesting. This year, I don't think so. I think Tennessee and company, I think Josh Heupel and company going to do their best, probably put up a 50 burger on the Commodores. May try to set a new scoring record. So I do not see it being close. And with that, I think Tennessee finishes their season 10-2 overall, 6-2 in conference play, which I think puts Tennessee right squarely in the conversation of the 12-team college football playoff. Will they make it? We'll see what the committee does. We'll see what the rest of college football looks like. But, guys, I think this resume, 10-2, 6-2 in conference with a win over Alabama, I would argue this is a resume of a college football playoff contender. So, guys, when you look at Tennessee's 2024 schedule, do you agree with me? Do you disagree? How do you think the Volunteers will fare in the 2024 college football season? Guys, that's going to do all for me. Appreciate each and every single one of you tuning in. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn notifications. Check us out via podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. You can also find us across all social media platforms, as well as our website, SECUnfiltered.com. Until next time, guys, I'm Chris Phillips of SEC Unfiltered. Appreciate each and every single one of you tuning in, and we'll catch you on the other side.